We are into the final week of 12 Games of Christmas, and thank you so much for all of your submissions. We are getting a little bit low now. People are maybe running out of energy. Please do share any more of your final projects as we head into the last few days of tips. And we're going to do loads of extra tips this week, and I'm going to fit in as many as I can. I've got 2 featured games for you today, and my first one is from Hi Bye Bye Get Noobed, great username, who has been amazing at doing as many games as they can throughout the 12 Games of Christmas. And this one I've just featured because it uses the lists and the random function that we talked about earlier, and I think it's a really nice, simple game. I also gave some tips about how to improve it, and Hi Bye Bye Get Noobed went away and did those, and actually now it's a really fun, easy to play game. So the idea is you have to press 1 or 2, and if you get it correct, it says it's correct, and your points go up by 1. So now I'm going to guess 2. Correct. Okay, so it's either going to be 1 or 2. It's basically heads or tails. And there I got it wrong, so the game finishes. I scored 2 points. And if we look inside the code, we can see lots of code going on here, lots of different attempts and different tries. We've got here ask 1 or 2 and wait, and then if it's 1 or 2, if it equals the answer, then it's going to say correct and change the look by 1. If not, it's going to stop everything. So very simple, nice, easy to use script, and I think it's a really good one to share. If you want to do something similar, perhaps you've got a creative idea, then you can go and remix this, and make sure that you follow our user Hi Bye Bye Get Noobed as well. Add some followers for this great Scratch game. My second game that I'm sharing today is something that I've made. This is the most complex game that I've ever made, and I've waited till now to release this game. It's called World Detective. It's got some music alongside it, and when you play, I can't show you everything because it is quite a long game to play. It's not a platformer, it's a puzzle adventure game, and you've got to choose which cities you want to go and visit. And when you go and visit the cities, there are different characters to speak to, and they have all got different things to say. And as you go through, you've got to solve different problems and puzzles. I've got this section just here, which is just for conversations with your main player. This bit is about how to change the screen, so you can see all of these here. When you zoom in on it, I could have done this a lot neater, but I kept it simple so other people could remix it. And it just basically says, depending on what the backdrop number is at the moment, where you are on the screen, if you happen to be too far over on the left hand side, it will switch it to a different backdrop. Okay, and then it goes basically, but if you're on that backdrop and you're far on the other side, it will switch to another one. And I've got that for basically every single backdrop that leads to somewhere else. The only one that's a little bit different is the airport, because I've used the same airport for each city, and you can see here that it also checks what country you're in. There's absolutely loads of code on here. I'm not expecting you to remake this. I'm just expecting you to go and play it and just get inspired by some of the different things that you can do with Scratch. Today's top tip from our Scratch expert on the forum comes from, let's see if I say this right, Lalexihaha, maybe? And this is quite an advanced tip actually about tick systems, so that when you forever broadcast a tick, it runs all of your game code and it makes it much more efficient. And it talks also about turbo mode. So to see this kind of tick idea in action, I've got here 3 sprites. One of them is going to make a square when they receive the tick, and here's the broadcast tick, and the others are going to do it just normally. They don't have the tick, they just have when flag clicked forever. And you'll see the difference here, how the top cap just basically almost looks like it's printing the square over and over again, while you see these ones are drawing it round and around. You can see the difference in speed, how the tick system makes everything a little bit faster and very much smoother. The other thing I wanted to show you is turbo mode, and this is very interesting. So if I erase everything and I press shift and click to turn on turbo mode, watch how fast it goes now. Almost instant. So if you wanted a game that needed to be instant fast, or your code needed to be instant fast, perhaps a mathematical project that you're creating, then turbo mode's really useful. Shift and click on the flag to change it, and you can see the difference in speed. Right, today my tip is about playing music in games and having the music change depending on what level you're on. So here I've got a start of a game, and I've got the backdrops change when we go into different levels. So when I press the green flag, it starts on level 1. If I press 2 or 3, I get those levels. Alright, so not really important what the game is, I just want to show you how the music works. And it can be quite challenging to actually have the music stop and then change to a new track based on the level, but there is a quick way of doing it. First of all, we need to make a variable. I'm going to call this music track. And we're going to set the music track to 1 to start off with. Alright, and that is based on, when you go on sounds, you'll see the numbers up at the top, 1, 2, and 3. So that's where the music comes, that's what we're actually using, those numbers there. So we're going to set the music track to 1. Then we also need to do a broadcast, and I like broadcasts. Broadcasts send a message out to run code across all of your sprites, over all your backgrounds. It tells everyone to run that code. So we're going to broadcast a new message, and we're going to broadcast it to be change music. We're going to pop it here. Now, when we receive this event block here, change music, so when this is broadcast, we're going to stop any sounds that are currently being played, and then we're going to have a forever block because we don't know how long we're going to be on each level, and we're going to choose the play sound until done because we don't want it just to keep starting the sound over and over again, otherwise we get horrible feedback. So let's see if this works so far. Now at the moment it's going to play this, but I don't want it to play that. I want it to play the music track, so I drop the variable music track into here. Let's see how this works. Okay, so I've got my level 1 music. Now when I want to change it, which is when I go to a next level, and I would put this wherever your code is when the level changes, whether it be a change of a backdrop, whether it be a change of a sprite, or the whole world, who knows. I'm going to drop in the broadcast, but before I drop in the broadcast, I need to put in change or set music track to the number that I want it to go to. So in other words, this is going to set it to the second one, and then it's going to broadcast change music. And I'm going to duplicate that over here. Right, so when we press the green flag, we get track 1, level 1. When I press number 2 to activate this code, it's going to stop all sounds, and then it's going to go again. And we get the second music. And then when I press number 3, we get the third music. A really nice way to have some different sound tools in your bag for different level games. Feel free to take this code. I'm going to share this so you can use it in your own code on the 12 Games of Christmas page. And that is all for today for day 9. I'll see you on day 10. Keep scratching, everyone. Bye.